It's time for the final finishing touches on the Fairlane. We headed to Noosa Radiators to meet up with Old Cock to get the exhaust system made up. Mark, the owner of the car, has known Old Cock and his son Shane for many years and have worked on a heap of his cars in the past, so they were more than happy to help out when it came to working on the Fairlane. Shane has made up a 2.5 inch press bent mild steel system that splits off from our 3.5 inch dump pipe. It's all in a day's work for Shane, and after a quick coat of some heat-proof paint, it was time to start it up and see how it sounds. It's a bit smoky on cold startup due to being untuned. Nonetheless, it sounds awesome, and it's time to drive it around the corner to Blairy's to strap it onto the dyno. After strapping it down on the dyno, Mick connects his map sensor line and starts off by doing some light load tuning, ensuring the air-fuel ratio is correct. Mick then proceeds to do some minor full load runs. Checking the recorded data, Mick can see how the engine reacts to the numbers he is inputting in the fuel table and knows just how far he can push it. Things were looking really good, with the car making 341.3 horsepower, until this happened. Holy
Yeah, so that was the tail shaft breaking, which is pretty special. So after it broke, it also tore holes in the floor and ripped out all the fuel lines and brake lines and all that, bent the exhaust that Old Cock had just built. So what we determined was that there was a bit of a miscommunication with the tail shaft maker. He didn't hear the bit where I said it was a turbo V8, just thought it was some old so it wasn't really built to the spec, and it's also a very long shaft because the car's so long, so it was not up to it. So what we've done is moved to a two-piece tail shaft. To do that, we got a Hilux tail shaft from just a Hilux Ute, and used the centre bearing out of that, and just had it cut up and rejigged to work. And then we had to make a centre bearing mount to hang it from the centre of the tunnel. So it's got a rolled piece that goes up inside the tunnel, shaped to the tunnel, that's got like nuts welded into it, and it's bolted through from above. And then it's got this frame here which holds the centre bearing. So we can also adjust the centre bearing height to account for things like vibration and that sort of thing, which is pretty common for cars to have that adjustability in them. So we just use spacers to space the shaft up or down. We just fiddle around with that until it runs happy. So we've now got the Hilux slip joint, which is from front tail shaft, I think, on a Hilux. Obviously, because there's no slip joint in the back of the gearbox, it has to have one because it's got a live axle, and as it goes up and down, it changes length. So that's your slip joint there. So all the length changes is happening between here and here. It used to be up here, bolted to the tail shaft adapter. So that's all working well. We had to do a few repairs to hoses, lines, floor, exhaust got bent to oblivion, so we had to fix that up, which is all good to go now. And the other problem we had was it kept stopping all the time, just like it did when it had the 302 Windsor in it. So the clean out of the fuel tank was less than successful. It just kept dropping like rust flakes that would get sucked into the big filter on the pickup, and it'd block. You'd stop, then it'd release, it'd drop back down, the car would go again. So we sort of found that out by driving it around for a while, and just bit the bullet and bought a brand new fuel tank for it, which we also upgraded it to a 130 litre tank out of a GTHO Falcon. So it's huge, which is good because it runs on the 85, and the 85 loves to drink. So yeah, that's all good now. So the car's running great. Just off to get the final tune. Once Mark takes it home, he's going to get it tuned up at his hometown or thereabouts, and then drive it.
With the initial tune done at Blairy's, we were able to drive the car after the tail shaft repairs and sort out all the little problems. Mark had the final tune done at Rod's Dyno, which is closer to his home. Rod plays with a duty cycle on the boost controller and is able to squeeze out a couple more PSI, so it's time to smash down some power runs. We've made a pretty stout 451 horsepower at 16.5 psi. With the tune being the final step in this massive build, there's only one thing left to do, and that's to hand the keys over to Mark and for him to finally enjoy some reliable power. Turn the speakers up and slam it again. Your favorite rapper and producer connected this year. They don't slowing us down. Please put your hands high. We live fast and die young. Better make your count. The goal is to make change. I mean, in large amounts, my daughter got it.
yesterday when we were young and carefree. Not a damn thing in this world could ever scare me. We never had it all, but we survived through the twists and the turns. Getting the money and the girls was my only concern. Was born in the third, raised in the first. I know it firsthand. I know about the struggle and the blessings of a free land. But we ain't free, man. Ain't nothing in this world free. Look around, the vision is all I see. The rich go here, the poor stay here. The rest of y'all try your best to find you a career. I steer away from all that mess and overtake the competition. Speeding away fast like racing is my religion. What they speak about is not my concern. Leave them all in smoke while I let these tires burn. Clock keeps ticking and we on the last lap. You know I got the handle, so we drifting through the track. And they bring it back 1 time, 2 times. Here we go. Since 98, I've been wrong with a dilly flow. Boombox recordings, no video. I've been around the world and back. They don't hear me though. It feels like I'm in a race with time. Now whenever I go hard for everything that's mine. All this work I put in is to provide what we never had. Pedal to the metal till I'm speeding past the checkered flag. Godspeed, who got speed? Life moves so fast in a flash you see. Everybody getting left behind, swerving through all the twists and turns. We ain't losing this time, let's go. Speed it up. Speed it up. Speed it up. Faster. Speed it up. Racing is my religion. We live fast and die young. Racing is my religion.